Good evening and welcome to a summary of the news. His Majesty the King joined worshippers in performing the second Friday praise of Ramadan at King Hussein bin Talal Mosque in Amman. The King and worshippers listened to the Friday sermon, which was delivered by Grand Mufti of Jordan, Sheikh Abdul Karim Khassaune, in which he spoke about fearing God and its impact on the life of Muslims and their relationship with their Lord. The Grand Mufti also spoke about fasting and how the relations among Muslims should be during this holy month. About 300 Palestinian citizens from Gaza Strip have managed to leave for Jerusalem to perform Friday prayer at the Al-Aqsa Mosque following a 2-week prohibition. Palestinian sources said the Gazans left the coastal enclave from Beit Hanun crossing north of the Strip. Russian President Vladimir Putin said he agreed with U.S. proposals to incorporate parts of the opposition into the current Syrian government. Putin said President Bashar al-Assad accepted there was a need for a political process. The comments advance Russia's position on Syria and follow a statement by UN envoy Staffan de Mistura, who warned earlier this month there would not be another round of peace talks until officials on all sides agreed on the parameters for a political transition deal ahead of an August 1st deadline. Putin said the most important thing for Syria was not for Assad to retake every inch of territory as he has pledged, but for overall faith in the authorities to be restored. Putin said it was inevitable Syria would collapse if the things continued as they were, saying that would be the worst case scenario. A U.S. official said Russia launched a second airstrike on Syrian fighters, including some backed by the United States. This came even after the U.S. military asked Moscow to stop following a first strike. The official said a small number of Syrian fighters were killed in yesterday's airstrikes in southern Syria. Iraqi forces entered the center of Fallujah, the Iraqi city longest held by Daesh, nearly 4 weeks after the start of the US-backed offensive. Government troops recaptured the municipal building and raised the Iraqi state flag above it. Fighting continued as government forces pushed into the city, and troops could be seen coming under sniper fire as they entered a large mosque about 100 meters from the municipal building. Clashes involving aerial bombardment, artillery and machine gun fire were ongoing. The military statement said heavily armed police units were advancing along Baghdad Street, the main east-west road running through the city. Commanders from the counter-terrorism service had surrounded Fallujah hospital, expected to be retaken within hours. A second flight recorder has been retrieved from the crashed Egypt Air flight MS-804. Egyptian investigators said the recorder contained data from aircraft systems which could shed light on what brought the plane down last month. An Egyptian committee investigating the crash in the eastern Mediterranean Sea announced the find a day after search teams located the cockpit voice recorder. The Ministry of Civil Aviation said Egyptian investigators had received the 2 flight recorders and would analyze the information over weeks. While no explanation for the disaster has been ruled out, current and former aviation officials increasingly believe the root of the crash lies in the aircraft technical systems rather than deliberate sabotage. And finally, fair summer conditions prevail across the kingdom for the rest of tonight, with northwesterly moderate to brisk winds. A slight rise in temperatures is expected tomorrow, but it remains moderate in most areas and hot in the Jordan Valley and Aqaba, where a high of 31 is in the forecast for the coming 3 days. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news. I'm Leo Barqa. Thank you for joining us.